What's up, y'all? It's Friday. Friday. Raise your hand if you know what I'm clowning on right now. Probably not. Oh, hey, sound is back. Yeah, I had a feeling that when I was on a second ago, like it wasn't snapping together. That's a technical term. It means I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And I think now we're working because Larry Chupacabra is on. This is going to be an excellent live stream to practice your R's, your Spanish R's. Toriello is on. Wesley Merchant. What's going on? We're kicking off in a few minutes. We're just kind of warming up. Snapping. Swizzle. Exactly. I have a feeling Larry and I are going to get along very well based on the brief description that Tori gave. I think we're both very goofy people. But we're going to be talking about something very smart today. And we're doing that mostly to just lose market share on the show. Because I think the smarter you talk, the less people want to listen to it. So I think it's going to be a fun opportunity for all of us to learn together. Just when you guys started to feel like you're learning what a live stream is, we're going to switch it up on you and start talking about Discord. What the hell's Discord? Exactly. So I'll tee this off a little bit for those of you that may be new. Let's see who's on here. Yeah, 10 minutes before. If I came in any earlier, it would be awkward. Plus, you were telling me what we should talk about today, right? So, thinking about some news that might be interesting to rattle on while people are popping in. I'm speaking with, there's no notes on this thing. I usually write like 3 things down just to make me feel, it's like having a teddy bear. It just makes me feel more comfortable to write stuff down. It's like when you take notes in a class so that the professor thinks that you're, yeah, it's like a fake newscaster. Except I don't even have the thing is telling me what to say, which is probably obvious. So for those of you, I don't think anybody else is on yet. I'm going to hit a few people up, make sure that they know that we're on right now. Friday's a funny day. Friday's one of those days where people are like either busy or they're like, dude, I'm still drunk or whatever. You're doing your thing. So I'm going to hit a few people up awkwardly in the middle of the live stream. Just so, because they'll hit me up later and be like, why didn't you tell me? And I'll be like, because we were on a live stream. I can't tell you in the middle of the live stream, but I can. So, Tori, I know you got a lot of questions. Why don't you put a few up there? Tori's going to be working during our live stream today, whatever that is. So for those of you that are coming on here mostly to hear from her and see her, I don't even know if it's 101. It's like 100. But I think this is going to be fun because we'll be able to dig in. Larry was cool enough to take a look at our Discord, and I think that's karma. I think like the last couple of weeks I've been like, oh, you know, if you guys want any notes on your music and I can help you. And then karma went, yeah, dude. So now Larry shows up and is like, yeah, let's take a look at your Discord here. Let's see what's going on. Like when you have like a 40-year-old car and your mechanic's like, all right, let's take a look at this thing. I think we're gonna learn a lot and be very humbled today, which is fun. So we just, Tori was, yeah, man. Awesome. Appreciate that. Very good. Yeah, it was kind of a dad joke. Anything where you're referring to a mechanic, I think gets at least, yeah, I appreciate that. That's all Tori, by the way. She was literally talking on the phone with me 15 minutes ago and going, yeah, this is that's a community. This is how this works. So just so you know. I'm like, great. So the cool thing about this is, you know, we're all going to be learning together. No stupid questions. I'll be responsible for those. And I'm literally going to just, I'm going to bring Tori on. Tori, you want to come on for 2 minutes and just kind of warm things up? Because I want to be able to like tell some people that we're doing this. I know you want to come on. I know you want to come on for 2 minutes. Oh, Tori needs to get that triple light. Tori. Get the 3 lamps going, man. There it is. That's it. You didn't, I promised you I wouldn't do that.
And here you are, he's like, oh, you're coming on. Wait, I got to get my lighting situation, that natural light.
Triple lights, remember, man, like it's like math. Like every class stacks onto the one before it. If you don't have the triple lights on, I'm pulling you off right now.
Well, lighting's not good enough, bye.
Oh. That was just me pretending that my audio just came on, because I do that for a second when my. So Tori, what are some questions that you have to make this sound like we have intelligent questions for Larry?
Oh man, well, when we were doing our test run, Larry and I was like, okay, we need to stop talking right now because we're going to go through all of the content we should be going through on our official stream. So that was good because just a lot of knowledge. I think what is Discord? Just a nice general introduction to people who might have never been on Discord, know what it is, how it relates and kind of works alongside streamers and gamers, why Discord seems to be the platform that streamers use compared to...
Yeah, why is it not Slack? I want to know why it's not Slack. I want to know the history or the politics or the hidden meetings. Forget it. It's probably not that we're involved.
Larry's throwing out big words.
So big words? What do you think this is, dude?
Do we have our voice chat globe plugs in the upright position or sideways?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
It is probably one of those. We could do your favorite question, 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. What is a basic Discord server? How do we level up so things make sense? Maybe adding in plugins and elements, bots to run things. I just got a bot from Emma. It was creepy because we were just on Emma McGann's. Larry, I don't know if you know who Emma McGann is. She's sort of a YouNow celebrity. I mean, she's actually, I don't even have to put the quotes. She's a YouNow celebrity. Like, she's the one that shows up when you get onto YouNow for the first time and you're like, oh, Emma McGann. I think I've heard of her. And we just went on to her. What would be cool is, like, for ours, maybe you can give us some insights on ours and be like, okay, you can do this, or this is what's working. And then we can hop onto Emma's, which is way more, she's been doing live streaming for 6-7 years. I'm sure their Discord is pretty badass, and you could be like, whoa, this is like a Ferrari, and pick that apart. So yeah, I think we can pull that off. That's probably within our technical expertise, Tori. Yeah. No pressure. One of the first things Tori said, what was one of the first things you said when I was like, hey, maybe we could do this live stream and you could sort of like coordinate it, and you were like, okay, but the one thing that I'm not really that keen on is
the technical.
And you've been crushing it. You lied to me.
The computer stuff, like websites, I'm a millennial, so I already have that little bit extra.
It's the first time I've ever heard a millennial call themselves a millennial. That is weird. Who
I already
does that?
have an edge up behind the older people.
That's like me saying like, hey, I'm a blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what I am, but
What?
What's up, Ashley? Uh-oh, Larry. Larry's having internet issues. He's having issues with the World Wide Web, which may happen from time to time as we do this, and that's okay.
The one thing we don't have control over quite yet.
There's a lot of shit we don't have control over quite yet.
But Wi-Fi.
But Wi-Fi is just that. That's nice. That's nice. How did you find us, Ashley? Did you just pop in here like kind of like, oh, YouNow's on. Let's see what's going on. Because you're welcome. We're going to be talking about nice. So this is a music-oriented live stream, and today it's going to be super nerdy. Just letting you know, like if you're like, yo, dude, I'm not up for nerd stuff. We're talking about Discord, but it'll be a bunch of bullshit in between, just talking and stuff too. Was
Annie the one who brought up Discord?
Originally, yeah. Well, she was talking about marketing.
Okay, who was the one who was like? Was it Yuma?
I want to say it was Yuma. Yeah. Larry, pop on and let us know when you're when the internets are working for you. Plural. If you guys have any nerdy type questions about Discord, now would be the time. Like, what is Discord? It goes deep here.
Oh, something else he mentioned, what we should know before it breaks, so we're not learning about it as it breaks.
You done? You good, Larry? Awesome. Yes. And I also, Larry, the one question I have that's floating in my mind too would be, I think it was Guillermo who said on the last one, like, was it Guillermo or somebody recently said, Sherry said, like, I set up my Discord and then like 6 months later I realized like, oh, if I had done it like this, I would have saved myself a lot of time, or I could have done X and Y and Z. So sort of like, what are the things that you want to be aware of when you're getting things set up? Dopeness. Okay, so we're bringing you on, bro. 1, 2. You want to stay, Tori?
No, I'm gonna drag myself off. But I want to see if give a little wave when he hops on.
Dude, that's an intimidating logo.
You should also ask him how he became.
Larry!
Oh.
You dropping knowledge. Can you hear me okay? Oh, no.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff you can dive in. Can you not hear me?
I can. It feels a little,
the
Wi-Fi feels a little warbly. I love how like...
well, that's because I live in the woods with sort of like woodland internet.
It adds a certain, because of course the Chupacabra would live in the middle of the woods, right? So it adds this sort of like a mysterious aspect to it. We'll make it work.
The audio is fine though. Still hear him.
Can you hear his audio?
I got too many lights on in here.
Your video is kind of popping in and out. Can you hear me okay as I'm speaking to you?
I can hear you guys just fine. So as long as you can hear me, we can roll with it. I mean, that's the main question.
So here's what this is going to be basically a podcast with an occasional picture of Larry. Because I can hear you okay, right?
Still animation, one frame at a time.
Yeah, it'll be like, we'll have like that book. Because later you get to see how the story ends. You know what might help, Tori, is if, I don't know if this will help, but if you pop off, if I pull you off, I don't know. You now being what it is. Thank you so much. You're amazing. See you soon. Larry. Okay. I do feel like that's a little more stable.
How's it going, brother?
We appreciate you being here, dude.
having a good.
Well, I hear a
here.
slight. I hear a slight delay that's a bit more than what I'm used to. So I'll give you a breath when I finish my sentence. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. I was waiting to see how much of a delay it is. So I'll tee off again for those that are visiting, for those that are going to be popping on during. What we're doing with this live stream and kind of what we're about. And then we're super excited to have you on and talk about Discord. LiveonLive is a live stream that was built 6-7 weeks ago. It was kind of an extension of some things that I was writing about in some music industry newspapers about COVID, about what the industry's doing in response to it, music industry is doing in response to it, about live streaming, about remote work. And we wanted to, what's up, Yuma? Dude, it's a good thing you made it, man. This is like inspired by you, bro. How's life? I'm going to have you tee this up next time. I'm going to be like, Yuma, so what's the show about? So we are, I think it's about a 2-second delay. I think you're right. Larry, you still on, bro? Can you hear me? We lost you, bro. Come message me when you're back on again, and we'll roll through it. It's good to see you, Yuma. You are literally, that's all right, dude. We'll roll through it. So, okay, cool. I'll give you a second. So this will give me a chance to do my little spiel, and then I'll let you talk. So this is basically a space for people to learn about live streaming, in particular for the music industry, whether you're a producer, engineer, studio owner, artist, songwriter. You got it, bro. We'll give you a couple minutes. No worries. And we can push back things and whatever works for you. So this is a space, and actually I'm really super excited that we're moving into the Discord part of our evolution, because I think Discord allows us to have the kinds of communication that we've been clunkily having over the last few weeks, where people like Yuma come in and you guys want to connect with, you know, somebody that I may know, or you guys want to connect outside of the stream, like Ativ and White Shadow. And so I think having a space where you guys can do that is super, super cool. And also, you know, we've been posting a lot of links and things, which we'll continue to do, but those things can always be housed in like an actual, like solitary place that's organized and not sort of random. So it's, I think from the beginning of this entire exercise, we've been doing stuff. Thank you, my bro. Welcome to the LiveonLive Discord. Since the beginning, since day one, since the first moment that we started doing this, it's always felt like we're not quite ready to do something. Let's do that. And that's how, exactly. Tori, not we, Tori, really. I was like, we should have a Discord. Tori's like, all right, I'll figure it out. And then she's like, here's what Discord is. Yeah, man, we move fast. We lean into what we do not know. That's what we do, Yuma. So yeah, I think the thing that's made this exciting for me, and hopefully what's made it useful for you guys and kind of fun to watch us stumble through this, is at any given point, we do not know what we're doing. And then as soon as we understand what that is, we're like, okay, let's do the next thing that we have no idea what we're doing. And so appropriately enough, we're now talking about Discord. We're going to be doing some 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 stuff for that. We're just waiting for our resident expert, Larry Chupacabra, to come on. Does anybody have any idea what that joke's about? Probably not. Maybe Larry will when he pops on. There's I think it's an old Saturday Night Live. When I say old, I mean like from the 80s. And the newscasters, I know what it was. There was this bit about newscasters. You got to find this in real time, Tori. This is your assignment for right now, because it'll be completely useless, and that's the whole point. There's this SNL skit from like the 80s where they're making fun of newscasters appropriately enough. And there was some sort of thing in Latin America that was going on. I think it was with the Contras or somewhere in Nicaragua or something. And they were making fun of how, like, every time the newscasters in the United States would, like, bring up this news story, they'd be like, for our next story, we've got massive issues in Nicaragua. And they would, like, over pronunciate, like, some Latin American country that they have no idea. So that would be great if we could have Larry. You back on, bro? So yes, we're going to be talking about Discord and the music industry. Let's do this. Larry, you're back.
I'm elusive.
Yeah, well, it comes with the name. It comes with the name. For those of you that do not know what Chupacabra refers to, Wikipedia, right? Because that's part of the mystery. But you need to check out what's going on behind this guy's name. Larry. So
if you're curious about what a chupacabra is, it's like a lot of people describe it as the Central and South American. It's also directly leads to goat sucker because people used to think that whenever they find 2 pinpricks on a dead goat's neck, something was sucking its blood like Dracula.
Is that enough for you, Yuma? You got that? Thank you. Tori found it. There's a, I don't know if you remember this, and if, you know, are you a Saturday Night Live fan?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. So do you remember, like, I want to say this was in the 80s, because I don't think it was in the 90s. There was a skit that was really funny in the 80s where they would be making fun of, like, newscasters that would overpronounce Latin American countries, and they'd be like, tonight in Nicaragua, and they would, like, overdo it. Do you remember that skit?
I think I've seen that one, yeah. I think they still do, like, throw that into some of the newer newscasts from time to time.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, it gives me a chance to say Chupacabra, like I grew up on the and I think they were doing it with, like, the Sandinistas. Anyway, so we're thrilled to have you on. Thank you for taking some time to look at our Discord. So tell us, you know, again, our community is mostly about music, and I know you cover a lot of things on your tutorials. I guess that would be a good place to start first then is tell us about your YouTube page, your tutorials you do, the scope of what that entails with technology and other aspects, and then sort of, you know, how you sort of moved into learning about Discord.
Okay, sure. So when I first started doing YouTube, it was right when I got done with college, and I just decided I was watching some stuff on YouTube, and I was like, oh, everyone's, like, playing games, and they're just like, over it and being goofy and silly.
Yep.
I've got a webcam, I have a microphone, I can do stuff like that. So that's where I started doing that, and then right when that actually, you know, get me some revenue, I decided to do some less than funny jokes and completely tanked the advertising revenue for video games. So before I had to kind of gain some notoriety in video games, one of my more popular videos was actually just a guide that I made for a friend on how to use broadcasting software to stream and to record. I was like, well, if that's one of my most popular, I'll just make tutorials. Tutorials are something that have to get it right when a game launches or right when a software launches to get views. Eventually, if it's the right kind of information, someone will eventually watch it. So that kind of started off doing a lot of video talking about how to use different recording softwares, both ones that are built into your computer thanks to the graphics card company that makes the graphics card or the graphics chip in your computer, or using things like OBS or what is that other one that people used to use?
Streamlabs?
Streamlabs is based on OBS, but yes. Okay. There was another one that was like the big competitor to OBS, still is, but they also pay into the OBS project. to
Is
help
it a
keep
paid
it going.
service?
And then after, it is.
Okay. I think
I
I've
forget
come
what it
across
is,
that.
but it was another
can't remember
popular
the
one at the
name.
time.
Yeah, we'll see if we can figure it out.
Yeah, it's eluding me right now. I've been meaning to make a tutorial about that one too, since I have a recurring subscription I keep forgetting to turn off.
Tori, when we
know,
talk
one
about
of
things
those.
and we can't remember what the word is, see if you can figure out what that is.
So around that time, people started getting kind of sick of all the different voice chat programs that were out there. Slack chat was just starting to take off as a sort of a portable forum for people to use for business.
Right.
And then Discord comes along and is like, "Hey, we see you make tutorials. You should check out our service and see what you think and talk about it." And so that's basically how I got involved in Discord. And it didn't take long before I had a problem with Discord setting something up for somebody that I knew. And then, you gotta break out all the tools and start using the screwdriver to fix things. And I'm like, I'll just make a video showcasing how to fix this broken update. This is how you fix that. And then now when you look up a lot of stuff on Discord, I'm the person that a lot of people find.
So okay, there's a lot of things there that we could sort of unpack. Are there particular, first off, are there particular videos or aspects of what you've done with your tutorials that people could check out later after this and say, oh, this is some stuff where Larry breaks down particular things for Discord or stuff in general. But for Discord, are there links or sort of sections of those tutorials that you think would be helpful for people to visit after this?
So I try to do two types of complete up tutorials that people can use to get general purpose information about getting started with Discord. One is how to do it up for all of your personal user information and preferences so that you can jump into your friend or some other entity's server and start using it. The other one is if you actually want to set up a server for your gaming community, your book club community, all of that stuff, there's two primary tutorials for that. Now, depending on what problems you into after you start doing that, that's when I start to get into the nitty-gritty of things like Discord is a program that's based upon setting up little jobs or roles for you on the server, which give you powers to say, drag people around, kick people off the server, delete stuff, add stuff, all of those things. Those are different powers that you can give people on Discord that they can moderate for you. And then I also try to put them into a complete playlist. One of the things that Discord's done over the years is they've been changing a lot, especially since the pandemic rolling out their live streaming capabilities. So when you want to get into the more advanced features, that's when you can look up the other stuff.
Dope. So let me recap what I just heard you say so that I understand it correctly, and also so that people can sort of play off of what you just said. So there's basically two ways that you've ended up looking at Discord. One is developing whatever your personal profile is so people can identify you and you can move into communities. And the second is being able to build communities and create communities around a particular theme. And then after that, you've sort of built maybe a library that works around, problems that come up, also roles and tasks that the Discord can do. And then you've created this playlist, which Tori just posted, and that we will appropriately enough put in our own Discord so you guys can go back and watch this stuff. That's probably, how many videos do you think that is total?
I'm not sure anymore. I feel like it's total 15 and 20 videos. I mean, the trouble is every time they do an update and they change an interface, people get confused. They can't find, like, they just moved the button over here and it's hiding behind a in the back of like a bookstore behind a sphinx that tells riddles, and you got to show people where they are.
Right. Amazing. So let's.
So there's quite a few. What I try to do now to the current year.
Okay. Gotcha. I want to talk about the evil 10-year-olds. I want to get right into this. So Tori was mentioning that,
Everyone,
go ahead. Yeah. So tell us about the evil 10-year-olds and what Discord can do about dealing with them.
So the biggest problem in any type of community on the internet is going to be people who are looking to hop in, spam like one or two people to look at their channel, to look at their product, to engage in their scam, and then leave or having to be banned from that community. When it comes to my tutorials, Discord is really used by the people who are younger to play games together, because you can click 4 buttons and then you're ready to sing at each other and play the latest video game, the latest shooter game, or in the case of a lot of the people that jump into my Discord, I'm going to see if I will play Roblox with them, and then when I'm not really a Roblox player, they like spam their YouTube channel and then they leave. So you have to protections to keep them in every channel, because you don't want to say have your channel that's supposed to just display your server rules filled with weird memes, and maybe in the case of people being spammed with pornography and offensive words. And so one of the things that you really have to do with that is you have to put in place like locks so that ONs and moderators can use. There's also bots that you can for free that will go like, oh, you're posting just to your server or to some YouTube channel, I'm going to automatically delete that. And three times in a row, we'll just automatically ban you.
Nice. Yeah, it's interesting to me that in the time that we've been doing this, which is like 7 or 8 weeks, I've felt like I haven't seen a lot of spam. So my impression is things seem pretty calm and pretty well put together, and everyone sort of self-regulates. However, my mind immediately thinks, well, the people I've been viewing, like an Emma McGann or a Matt Walden, probably have things in place, particularly on their Discord, where it sort of is clean because it's being well put together and it's been protected. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, so it's kind of like that episode of Futurama where they meet this weird cosmic entity that almost seems like they have god powers. If you do your job correctly, it should seem like no one's doing anything at all. There's nobody doing anything bad, and there's no admins, punishing people.
Yeah.
So in a perfect server setup, it should look fine. Everything should like be perfect, and behind the scenes, like there's just a cop with a billy club chasing down the Greeblies.
Right.
That sort of a thing.
Love it. So let's look at it from Tori had a really nice idea, I think, from earlier this morning that I love, which is there's a live stream. Let's assume for the moment that it's a music live stream, and there's 3 moments in time. There's what happens before that live stream, what happens during that live stream, and what happens after that live stream. Can you maybe talk about how one can use Discord effectively? What are some basic things that you can do to take advantage of having that Discord before the live stream, during the live stream, and after the live stream?
So Discord allows you to basically just create a forum that gives you a live chat feature, either if you want to do voice chat or if you actually want to get on video chat with people or just do text chat. What I've seen a lot of streamers will do if they want to actually engage their audience beforehand, before going live on, say, Twitch or YouTube or Hitbox or Mixer, is they'll actually do kind of like a town hall meeting where they'll go and talk to people and see what they want to talk about or what they want to do during the live stream. Some people like to actually host part of their live stream on have people in just a big public lobby. They'll be a private voice chat channel, and then they can grab people to that channel to talk to them live and then put them back. So it offers you an ability to have a bunch of streams live streaming to a bunch of different locations at the same time. If you want to like be live on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, and on YouNow at the exact same time, you can unify everyone onto Discord because it's just one central chat as opposed to having to have one window open for this chat, one window at chat, and then your phone, tablet. This is where people have got a bunch of little stands where they're trying to keep track of 7. Like, dude, you're gonna give yourself an aneurysm if you have to that many like streams of consciousness.
Right.
Like, what really makes Discord to talk about what Tori's bringing up in the chat section really sort of more popular than Slack for people to just. They made it really just grab a little short code like people are used to using their phones, and you can dive in on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, on your web browser, on your smart refrigerator in the living room. All that stuff, you could just dive in and start. You barely human, which comes with its own pot of problems.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I'm hearing you say is that it's one of the things that makes Discord so important and so powerful is it's sort of this unifying spine for whatever's happening in a particular live stream environment that someone's broadcasting across all these different places, or even across their social media platforms, if that makes sense. It's sort of this one unifying space that people can communicate with, whether it's before, during, or after the stream, right?
And if we want to talk about the fact that you guys mostly do music streaming, Discord comes with a bunch of tools where people can have an automated music bot. They can almost make their own radio waiting for your next stream, and they can just start a playlist of music on that automatically plays. There's also tools that let people actually use live mix music on the go directly inside of a Discord voice channel using other pieces that they pull off. Those work better than others, as I'm sure you'd imagine, because it's all text driven to give the bots commands. But you have a lot of power to do stuff like that and to your audience with music on the go. I've not investigated of those tools. Some people who are large, like music streamers on places like Twitch and YouTube, that use and leverage weird and unusual bots that I've never seen anyone else use to make funny and games for their viewers live on stream.
Yuma has a really good question that he was almost reading my mind. Would you be able to use Discord to run sort of live DJ sets and be able to control those things in real time with different aspects of the music and filtering and effects and things like that?
So Discord is made to do the same type of live streaming that you would do like through YouTube or OBS, go to things like Twitch, stream directly to your Discord server, where you can not only like share the same stuff that you would stream, you can share how you do it. You know, if you want to do like a workshop, Discord you just grab and stream whatever is on your desktop, like it has OBS built in, so you can actually how you mix music, do it live in front of them. You know, you edit things, how you grab samples, all of that stuff. You can just do it on the fly and people watch you. You can do a couple of different things directly through even your Discord server right now. They've been really good about unveiling a bunch of really fancy tools like Hit, where you can actually do a full-on live chat with a bunch of people, I think like up to 50 people at once, where everyone shares on, say, and you can also, if you don't want people to try it over, just live stream to a channel where people can see what you're doing, click on your icon or your name, and they'll go directly to whatever's going on that you share with them. And you have over that. You can change your inputs so that you can grab your devices that you're controlling your audio with. Anything that you can plug into your computer, Discord can source and
So if I understand it correctly, that last piece that you just mentioned, Discord, and again, we're just getting our head around what it is. So forgive me if I'm sort of asking questions that are a little outside of the scope of what Discord does. But outside of just being able to communicate back and forth, there's also this ability to have an audio stream. It sounds like a mono, one single audio stream. And you can also, within Discord, from what I understood you to say, you can click on someone's icon, say the host's icon, and then go back to the live stream itself.
So if you want to open this up on your computer while we're talking, I can actually show you. You can actually look inside of your LiveonLive Discord, and what you can do is you have a general voice chat channel right now. You can jump in there, and you'll see when someone talks, their icon will light up green, and then when they're not, it won't be lit up. Talking. So I can even just do that. You don't have to put on the audio for it, but I can just try to click on it with hopefully not for stream.
Yuma, are you on there too? I think Tori's on there.
It'll
so
be me talking.
Watching along. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can literally talking, and now at any time I can decide that it's going to become a stream. There's a button in the lower left-hand corner. I want to stream what's going on cam or on my screen, so I can actually do a live tutorial workshop I wanted to. In your case, if you had audio devices, one of your I forget what they call control panels, if you had plugged into your computer via a USB like some of the new ones can, Discord can grab that as an audio device of your microphone and effects to on there. It controls that audio chat have, but it also at the same time. It can stream. It can function as a to share, videos, pictures, images, and then it also lets you stream like you're a platform.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the most common bots? Like when someone's first getting into this and they're like, oh, let's set up a couple bots. What are like the initial bots that might get someone in the game?
So some of the most popular bots are, there's actually a bot where you can play Pokemon right off of the Discord server and fight Pokemon. You can install a moderation tool that's based around one of the characters from Rick and Morty called Misi, which will actually automatically provide, like, if you want to make talking a game, as you talk, you can level up your profile to show that you're a really active member of that. It'll also provide moderation tools. Like I said, you can set it up so that if you spam 3 times, you win a really bad prize of getting banned. So definitely delete people to their YouTube or a link to their Twitch.
Yep.
And 3 times in a row, you get banned. You can set it up with other logic if you pay a small fee because, they want to make money somewhere. These are tools that run on thousands, if not millions, of Discord servers. They've also got music bots, which can function as a radio, bots that can pull all of everyone's favorite latest memes. If you understand the young people and their young people humor, you can be like, oh, look, here's the latest Bongo Cat. If we can actually go look it up. There's actually entire websites that have dedicated just to Discord bots. Let's see, top 10 Discord bots.
Ooh,
I have to go
Tori
back here a lot
nice
when I make
idea.
tutorials because I'm not always aware of the latest and greatest tools. I think someone might have actually beaten you to it because I can guarantee there's a bunch of bots that'll sit there and you can ask it to tell you jokes like you're talking to Siri and it'll be like, oh, how about this one?
Right.
Looks like a lot of the ones up at the top here are music bots that allow you to do music streaming and live mixing. There's MeSeeks for like it once again for doing moderation. A lot of them do moderation tools. Oh, there's actually a Bob Ross bot. You can actually get Bob Ross brand tutorials right into your chat window if you so desire.
What
There's a
do you
website
know
for this.
what language
Discord bots.
these
Here
are
we go.
coded in?
The top bot list for what work is Discord has an API. I don't necessarily know what programming language it's written in, but you create a type of user account that's specifically for bots that Discord can moderate and like look at. So if you're trying to like create a bot to scam people, they can stop you. But right now, the Pokemon bot, there is an anime bot that gives you information on your favorite anime characters. Dank Memer for all the best memes. Octave, which is a brand new music streaming bot that also allows you to do live mixing. They've got Apex Predator, which is all your favorite Apex Legends stats. They've got another moderation tool that also provides you with an anime-based card game. There's a whole list. I mean,
These are all
put
bots?
this. Yes, they're all bots that you can invite to your server like a regular user, and then you can control them with various text commands based on whatever they've got on their website.
Awesome.
There's also ones that let you play the stock market directly from your Discord server. You can play Duck Hunt. You can do your own polls. There's also, remember that Genie in a Bottle program that you can ask it 20 questions and it'll guess what you're trying to think of? They have that in bot form now, apparently. That just came out. And if you're somebody who likes to do Bitcoin trading, they've also got a new Bitcoin bot out. They also let you get stats for people on Steam. They've got a Words with Your Friends bot. Pretty much anything that you can think of that you could get in text form or that could like do something played through a speaker or through a video, you can get that here. For a very brief period of time, they even had a type of digital blockbuster type that you could rent movies streamed directly through Discord.
Is there any, it sounds like there's this environment, it almost reminds me of open source or, like the Android apps versus the iPhone apps. There's just a lot of stuff out there that you can use and pull. And is there any danger of what would be considered a virus or something that doesn't work as
the only way you could get
a
a virus from Discord would be if you actually, it's like you get it through an email. Somebody sends you a legit sounding email, and then you click on a link to a fake website, and then that's when you get the virus.
Okay.
But the way that Discord does it is if you make a bot, they're going to verify that you're not doing something sketchy. So if anyone says something's going on where you're trying to scam people, they're going to shut that down. They're going to investigate. They're going to look at all the messages that it's ever sent. And then they're going to say, nope, this is fine, or ban you and your bot from the platform. Discord itself will know a virus. It runs through your phone. It runs through a dedicated desktop app. It'll literally just run off your web browser if you just want to use it on the go at work or at your friend's house or at your in-laws' house, wherever. It'll run on pretty much anything. It runs on Linux. It runs on Mac. It runs on PC. It runs on iPhone, Android, Windows Phone. Pretty much anything you can imagine. Most people who use the platform actually use it via mobile.
So as you could probably tell when we first started this stream today, most of the ideas that are a part of this are not my own. So another idea that I was very intrigued by was we had a guest on a couple of weeks ago named Sherry Hugh. And she was talking about Discord in passing, and she goes, yeah, there was a point where I had my Discord built and everything was working great, and I realized that I completely built it incorrectly. She didn't really get into what that meant, but she said, I decided I had to go back and start from scratch and do the whole thing over again. So I wonder if you can talk about, what are some smart ways to approach building a Discord so that it's something that, serves you into the future?
So a lot of people like to do announcement channels on their Discord server where they can send a ping and a little notification to everyone who's a part of the server that doesn't specifically turn off that kind of a ping. That means it becomes an advertising tool, like posting to Twitter to say, hey, we're going live.
Yep.
Another thing to do is put a channel their rules like you guys have. And one of the biggest problems that people do is they don't remember that you have to lock that channel, because right on your guys' server right now, I can go into your rules channel and I can do whatever I want. And then you'd have to wait and check it and be like, oh, that's a message on my crap. Somebody just put a bunch of garbage in my rules channel and then left. So you have to do things like set so that people can view the channel but not spam in it unless they're a moderator or an admin. And really you have to sit down and say, this is what I want on the server, and set up roles or jobs accordingly, and make sure you have some people willing to occasionally throughout the day look onto the server, check it out, and say, oh, well, this person is spamming racial slurs, I gotta ban them. This person's spamming imagery. Stuff like that is just kind of the constant, especially if you have a public server. To get around this, what is, Patreon is a really popular platform for people to use. So what they'll do is you have to pay so much money in the Patreon to get access to the Discord, which means you can talk to me in the chit chat channel whenever you want, as the person who's primarily, the face of whatever YouTube or streaming channel. That's usually what people want. They want to be able to get access to you so they can nerd out, freak out, like, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan, and then want to talk to you for a while. The other thing is, people don't really understand how many kids think they want to be the next big PewDiePie, and they'll jump into any public Discord server they can get their hands on, and they'll post the video that they did of their friends playing Roblox for 3 hours. So you really just have to make sure
I've tried
that it's really locked
down. It didn't work very well.
I still haven't played Roblox. Maybe one of these days I should just indulge people and be like, all right, take me on the grand tour.
Yeah, I just discovered what Roblox was about 6 weeks ago on a live stream conference, and I realized wow, this is huge for, it's kind of 13, 14, 12, 13, 14 is the main user base-ish at the moment.
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that, right? So
I've never really looked at it. I just know that all the ever asked me to play Roblox, to play Fortnite with them, or what's that other one? Something.
I don't know. Fortnite's the one that's been kind of on a lot of people's radar here because of the music thing. They just had a thing with Travis Scott that was a big concert that happened in the middle of Fortnite, and 12 million people were a part of it. But it sounds like it sounds like the Discord. I mean, what that reminds me of is almost like when you set up an email account or you set up a website. There's always that possibility that this thing is sort of somehow publicly accessible. People can get your information, and they can get in there and post things if they can get in, and so there's this aspect of being aware of moderating it, cleaning it up, protecting it. That's just a part of having a Discord server.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Really what you have to do is you just got to have people who will be looking at whatever people will post. Set up bots, but as hard as you make them. So if you don't know
Minecraft,
take this new weird thing people are doing, you can't tell. So you got to have somebody who looks at it and says, that looks fishy. Maybe we better remove that. For the most part, once you start to build a pretty thriving community with enough people interacting on there, a lot of the problems kind of sort themselves out over time, and then you can just sit back and let it do its thing. Mostly, it's just some basic settings that Discord doesn't always make the most obvious. Right now, you can go into your server preferences, and you can make it so that only people who have verified their email with Discord can post in your server. That cuts out 90% of people who will just log in and spam, because anybody who's going to quickly make a dozen accounts to try to spam up the place, they're not going to try to verify the email with every single one of them, because if the account gets banned, so does that email that got verified with it.
So that's in settings. Is that pretty easy to find?
Yeah. So let me go to my server, because if you go to your server,
Tori's doing that
top,
as you're talking about it. She's like,
okay. So Tori, if you go to the top in the upper end of your screen where it says the name of your server, there's a little arrow.
Right, Tori.
There's a little arrow up there that pointing down. Click it, and inside there is your server settings. And inside of your settings, you're going to want to go to They keep moving stuff on me. There's a security section inside of here. Moderation. At the top of moderation, you have the verification level, and it's 4 levels. You don't have to post whatever. You're just going to let it be free and crazy. They must have verified their email with Discord. Then there's Medium, which is you registered your Discord account for longer than 5 minutes. Or the one that I've got it on is you must be a member of the server, have it for longer than 10 minutes, those other 2 rules. And if you really go like hardcore, you got to verify a phone number before they let you post it. So you can control there. You can also set it so that they scan all of the images and all of the videos that have been posted, so that it doesn't, for whatever their robots look at, I'm not sure, that it doesn't look violent, graphically, gory, like blood and like that sort of thing. Or they also can check to see if they think it might be pornographic. I leave that one on because I don't want to deal with that if I don't have to, because you don't want to wake up and see like somebody spammed all of that in the morning. So all that stuff is pretty good to have.
So again, as you can, I'm sure, tell, like Tori and I have literally entered this party, 8 weeks ago, as far as live streaming itself. So we're so new to the party. We literally walk in and we're like, we don't even know how things work yet, right? So times 10 would be Discord. So my question is, what are the things that make Discord tick about like cultural norms, if that makes sense, or like ways people sort of are used to interacting, or those sort of unwritten rules about how Discord works, that we're going to break those rules unless you explain to us right now. Now, this is kind of how this works, guys. What are some ways to understand it when you first walk into the party?
So the first thing you probably much you used to interact on like forums during the early parts of the internet in the early 2000s, but a lot of the rules that you would have encountered on forums kind of goes with what happens on Discord. Discord is basically just a place where you can post long text posts, image posts, links to things like you'd be on an old forum that also happens to have voice chat and video chat. So anything you wouldn't post publicly on one of those, I wouldn't post it on Discord. Discord offers you a amount of anonymity where you can just make a weird name like Larry Chupacabra, and your personal identity will be relatively protected unless you do something so illegal that they hand your information to the police. So, if you don't, you've got a good set of rules going. Don't be too political. Don't be racist. Don't be, cuss and swear up a storm. Don't nasty gore and porn. All that stuff, pretty standard fare. Outside of that, it really just depends on the community. There's a wide array of people that use Discord, from everything for classrooms after they shut down schools at the start of the pandemic to book clubs. I've seen people who have literally got like an anything goes kind of server. Be very careful about that, because if you're on any server that goes anything goes, just because you say that doesn't mean that conforms to Discord's rules. At any time, somebody can report a server that's gone completely off the rails, and they'll go look at that server. And if they see that being a problem, that server is gone. And if they see a lot of nastiness going on, anyone who's connected to it will also be banned. So it's kind of like, it is possible to be guilty by association. I don't necessarily know that Discord's going to go into a server and look at everybody's posts because they've said they don't. But be very careful on the internet of being guilty by association. Just because you're not engaging in that doesn't mean they're going to see you on that server and be like, let's just get rid of all of them.
Are there any great examples of Discords? Are there, celebrities or news people or personalities or Discords that you look at and go, that's going to really knock it out of the park? That's what it looks like.
So a lot of the big time video games have got big Discord servers because obviously Discord started as a free chat program for gamers. They got a lot of startup funding the same way that a lot of, companies and social media did. A lot of venture capital people said like, hey, that's a really good business plan. Let's back that. And they're still trying to kind of suss out how they want to make money on the platform that's completely free. They were originally going to try to become a next storefront for games like Steam or the Epic Game Store, or like buying stuff from Origin, from EA. That didn't really work out. Now they're still trying to sell the Nitro thing where you have GIF emojis and icons and stuff. But for the most part, it started as a gaming. See a big time YouTuber, there's a good chance they have some type of public community section that happens on Discord because Discord's associated with gaming, their channel associated with gaming, so they just make it so that their community is also on the chat programs associated with gaming.
Got it.
In the case of that, I mean, I know a lot of the games that I play have it. Animal Crossing has a community server, Satori, that you can cross on. You can also find them for pretty much Fortnite's got one. Minecraft has a bajillion of them. Warframe, pretty much all the big games you could think of, they all have one. I know they had one for a big music streaming group on YouTube has one. Mm-hmm. If they've got a YouTube channel, there's a good chance they're thinking about it. That's all I can say.
Yep. Yeah, it sort of reminds me of when I first looked at Twitch, and this was probably, 6 months ago or less. And I went on there, and obviously most things that are happening on Twitch are game related. And when the algorithm's sort of kicking things at you, those are the first things you're watching, and they're the most popular. So you sort of take those in and see, okay, this is kind of what they're doing. And then you dig down to maybe the music channels, which is what I did. And you realize that, one sort of informs the other. So this comes from the gaming world, and it comes from the gaming culture. So it makes sense, I guess, that a lot of those big gaming franchises have what amounts to sort of the most popular and the most maybe the things you could learn the most from, because it's the most native to the platform, if that's the right word for it.
Yeah. And the best way I have of describing how the communities are set up on Discord, there isn't like a website that Discord runs that you can see a big list of all the publicly available Discords. They don't do that. You kind of have to find them by going to this person's channel and going to their video description and saying, do you have a Discord link? Does your channel on Twitch have a Discord link? It's going to a mall with no signs up above the doors and no map to go around and be like, you gotta be like, is there anyone in here? Is there anyone in here? And there's lots of places where they've got a big Discord, but the only thing it gets used for is they spam about, oh, here's my latest video, and that's it. They don't really talk to their fans. They don't really do anything else. It's really just like Twitter. It's just another place to spam, this is my latest video.
Yep. Is there, based on what you just said, if Discord doesn't have, sort of a comprehensive list, which I could sort of, now that I've listened to for the last 45, I can understand why they wouldn't, because it just makes it easier to spam people. That said, is there, in music, let's just look at like music lists for live streaming. There's different categories of publications and lists that have come out over the last 2 months about, here's some really good pop music live streams. Here's some good, curated list of X and Y and Z. Are there publications or streams or emails or groups that one could, if it's about music, great, but even just as an example in anything, are there sort of like places where you can discover Discord servers, even if they're not publicly posted on Discord itself?
You know, I know they have websites where people can post them. They're not official but you can go post them on a website, and they make money by you saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna pay you money to advertise it at the top of here." Like I think that that website I linked with the top Discord bots does something similar, but with bots. You can pay them advertise your new bot at the top of the list. So there's you can definitely look at giant lists of public Discords, and I'm sure you can just Google like big time YouTubers that have Discords. And somebody will probably have posted a little article that talks about all of them and talks about the pros and cons of them.
Yeah.
Like anything.
Yep. When you've built a Discord server and you've structured it,
you can probably...
Go ahead. You there? Okay, I can hear you again. Are there things to think about when you're building your Discord initially, so that you don't get limited moving forward? Because it sounded to me, and I know I'm asking this the second time, but it sounded to me by your answer that you can more or less add things and change things and adjust settings. So I'm coming back to my mind to what Sherry had said, that like, I wish I had set it up this way instead of that other way. Well, it didn't sound like you couldn't go back and reorganize and redesign things. Is there anything that you'd put out as kind of a word to the wise when people are building this the first time?
I would say you want a strong foundation. It's kind of like building a house. You want that concrete slab down before you start adding. So you probably want to have like an announcements channel. You want to have a rules channel. You want to have a basic chat channel. You want to have a channel for just like funny pictures and jokes and memes, a channel for people to share videos. Maybe in your case, you'd like to have a couple different types of channels for sharing different types of music and audio. And make sure channels let you put like a little blurb at the top, so that when you click on it at the top of the screen, it says like, this channel's for that. And to find out the specific rules, click on the pin button, or else you'll get in trouble. Stuff like that. And you want to make sure you've got a solid admin role, a solid role for moderation, maybe a general purpose role for veterans, and then maybe a couple bots that will help you with administration. Like Meeseeks is popular. Everyone uses that. It's good for automatically deleting people who might otherwise spam the channel with links to their stuff.
Right.
Then after that, you can just keep a couple people around to volunteer to help you moderate things, and you're good. That's really the core of Discord. After that, you can add streaming channels. You can put in rules so that you need a specific tag to be able to live stream. You can give people more than one tag to say, like, you're a moderator, you're also a streamer, and you're also like, a veteran. You can have all of those tags, and then whichever tag is highest in the roles list is the color of their little name when they talk.
Interesting. I just learned a ton just by that. That was awesome. So do you have a video perhaps, or is there a place that you'd recommend or that you know of that would have that sort of, it reminds me of when you're first building a website. You think it through first, and you think, okay, what are all the scenarios that this website's being used for, and who are the different kinds of people that might need different kinds of things? Is there a master list or a checklist, if that's the right term, that you've made or that's out there?
So what's happened when the pandemic hit was Discord noticed that a lot of their servers were being used for people to do the same stuff they would have done in person at home. So Discord actually has a set of server templates that you can look to see what your purpose is and what you need, and then you can start a server that already has some of that stuff pre-generated. Now, I did a video for teachers at the start of the pandemic that took the teaching template and looked at it to make sure that it was pretty good, because there's a difference between being the developer and actually being the person who uses it. So it's most of the time it's pretty well set up. They have a pretty good idea of what people use it for. But at the time, to do your research, to start playing around with making a server, just a throwaway server, to play around with permissions, invite a couple people in, and then take what you learn and apply it to your professional server. Discord has a lot of good templates, and it's been a while, but I kind of showed a good cross-section of these are basic channels and basic that everyone can use, and then you just have to label channels and give them each rules.
Gotcha. Yeah. And it's probably a moving target because, you know, you have different tools and bots that are being built all the time, and then people are using it in different ways, and then conventions sort of come out from there. Yuma had mentioned that you said, Yuma, that you have a couple of Discords that you follow. I think one was like footwork and one was like juke. So are those, is that for like music, and what is footwork? Is that dancing, running? Like, what are some of the, I'm just curious, what are some of the things that you got? Oh, it's one channel. Okay. Well, cool. And, you know, I was just curious what that channel was about. It sounded like it was something that was pretty popular and that you liked. So Larry, where do you think, I always like to do crystal ball questions with people that have been doing this for a while, because you've been living in it and you've watched it evolve. And we're also in this very weird moment where like things are kind of moving in a different direction and people are using these technologies differently. And Discord seems to be the kind of standard pipeline for this particular thing that it does. What do you think it might look like in a year as people start to look at these things a little more closely? Like, where do you think this is going?
I think Discord your one stop to be like live stream and have fun with your friends. You know, start your next book club, share information and video. Like, they're literally, they look around at what everyone else is doing and they say, that's a fun feature. I'm going to take that and I'm going to embed that in my service. And they have a lot of good app developers. Like, I'm not going to lie. What they do is pretty nice. They try to make that thing flows nicely. You got a bright version of it. You can make a dark theme, depending if you like, you know, a darker image so that your eyes aren't bothered. Darker. They got lots of like little quality of life features like that. People really wanted to, as they started doing direct messages with friends and being able to video share, they noticed that people were bootlegging their webcams so that they could share their games directly over Discord, because the native streaming features in, say, Steam has a streaming feature. It's really bad. So Discord was like, well, we're already the gaming chat. Like, we could make our servers scream and go on fire by doing video too. And then they started to slowly test that. They started to slowly roll that out to older servers that had a little bit of people, but not a ton. And so I would say they're probably going to start incorporating more live streaming, because they've already been doing. Guarantee they're probably looking at seeing if they could be a competing element to Twitch and to YouTube for live streaming. I guarantee that they're going to look at how they can implement more music streaming, because they have a lot of music artists that go on there. So they're probably going to evolve, and you can always suggest, hey, I'd like to see this on the platform. Can you include a tool to let me hook up DAC so I can do all this stuff?
It reminds me of, again, you know, when back in the day when MySpace for that short minute was like the place people went on, and then it was sort of overtaken by Facebook, largely because Facebook just did the same things much better. The quality of life aspect, if that's the right way of describing it, the way the apps and design features were built, it was just a better version of that idea. It sounds to me like Discord is just ahead of the game in terms of the design and knowing how to build stuff so that people want to use that instead of maybe some of these other workarounds. Is that fair? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, Discord is win it. So when they came around, they basically branded themselves as the gamers' version of Slack chat. They had all the stuff chat had, but more. And you can join. So after that, they made it so that anyone could just join. You don't have to prove that you have a business. You don't have that you have stuff already. Then Slack was like, oh no, we're losing people. Anyone can join Slack now. And Discord's like, haha, we've already got them.
Right.
Now, the one thing I will say that has been kind of problematic, Discord's also just like the rest of the internet. It's got nasty people, just like everywhere else. So they've been doing a lot of outreach to teach people who are less technical, like this is how you're making sure you aren't getting, scammed or preyed upon. If you're an older individual,
Right.
be careful of X, Y, and Z. Discord themselves will never directly message you about this. So don't get scammed. Don't give people your credit card information. We're never going to ask that through the app. Or buy Discord Nitro that gives you some other fancy features, but you don't necessarily need it. That sort of a thing.
Got you. So they've had to deal with their own popularity and making sure that people that are coming on that are kind of noobs are safe and can use it and are getting a good experience and are not getting exploited.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anything else? I mean, it's kind of an interesting thread, but okay, so there's that. There's this sort of, there's a space within Discord that you need to be savvy and you need to not be naive about who else might be on there, especially with the anonymity factor. Is there anything else about Discord that that you find challenging or problematic? Because I think a lot of what we've been talking about today, which is awesome, and it was kind of the point, is here's why this is great, here's why it's useful. Is there anything about it that you think is limiting or that you're not crazy about?
Discord has a very kind of draconian set of permissions that makes the work so that not every user can kick everybody and ban everybody, but some of it isn't very clear. Into your rules channel, I'll block the permission to send messages to that channel if you're in person. But they used to have people from uploading an image that'll auto post, embedding emojis, permissions will do, and
Uh-oh. Sounds like we lost him for a second. Yuma, great questions, great comments. Do you have anything else? This is largely inspired by your idea. So did you have any other questions you wanted to ask or put out there on Discord? Man, I feel like the things that I didn't ask that Larry just sort of got into is where I really learned a lot today, because there's a lot of this that I didn't even necessarily appreciate about how this stuff sort of fits together. And I love where he's going with sort of how they've positioned themselves and where they're going to be headed. That to me is super fascinating, because that's kind of why we're doing this as well. I was wondering if you could add shop features. In other words, being able to sell stuff and buy stuff. Great question. So I don't know the answer to that. We'll see if we can get Larry on. That's okay, brother. You want to take a question or two and then we can wrap up? Let me know when you feel ready to pop back on. And Tori, let's post again, just so it's a little easy for people to find stuff, Larry's playlist on YouTube and maybe his website, so people can find his stuff.
I'm back. I don't know what happened. My entire internet just went went out for a second there.
That's okay. So we had a good question from Yuma, who's coming in from Germany. Works at is an assistant at a studio, Bauer Studios in Germany. Are you able to, what would be some options using Discord for like shop type features? Thanks, Tori. Thank you, Casper.
I think there's shoppy things on Discord, and I believe they also have the option to embed certain types of merchant links if you're a sponsored server or you pay like a boosted server. So if you have enough enough traffic to your server, to your identity, you can apply to be sponsored, and that gives you some tools. Like I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me open up a server that has a few of those.
Cool. While you're doing that,
so
I also
give you options to have like cool banners and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they'll let you do like you can buttons, your merchandising like that. They don't necessarily great like built-in tool, but I wouldn't doubt they're considering working on that in the not too distant future, considering sheer number of premium brands that are sort of jumping onto the platform in the last 6 months.
Yeah, from what you told me in those last 5 or 10 minutes, it sounds like this space that's really expanding. And so those features that are maybe halfway built and halfway operational now may be rolling out. Yuma says, is there a kind of bot for sort of a shoppy bot?
You know, I haven't really looked at it, but I would probably say yes. There's a lot of bots gamify and selling things in a game. I would not doubt a shop bot for Discord if you look.
Let me ask a question that sort of parlays off of one of your answers from earlier on, which is like most of these bots seem to be free, and it seems to me that there's sort of a freemium model. So the standard version of the bot can do X and Y and Z. If you want something other than or beyond that, they tend to charge you something. Is that true?
Yeah, on the bot, and they change it a lot. So a lot of bots try to put something somewhere to make money, because obviously running a server, while it's cheaper these days than it used to be, it still isn't free, you know, so you have to do something. The music bots tend to put in like a feature want, like you can stream higher quality audio, or you can have a 24-hour live streaming bot that'll constantly have some type of music playing even when someone's not asking for it. Yeah. Other ones let you put in more than one music bot in the channel, so you can have two streaming in channels. I know the very popular moderation bot allows you to make it so that if somebody's been around long enough and they've been posting and interacting with the community, they'll automatically get one of your fancy roles that you designate, like, oh, you're an active member, you're a veteran, you're a subscriber, whatever. Some of them allow you to notice who's subscribing to your Patreon, and they'll sync that up so that the Patreon people get special powers and privileges.
That's cool.
There's lots of different bot features. You just kind of have to go look at them and say, this is what's free and this is what's paid. When I do a review of a bunch of people how to set it up, usually what that is, but on the top of my head, I don't know all. That's
cool. Yuma, one that comes to mind as I'm listening to Larry go through that, it completely, I forgot about it, but Dapper Rapper is on Twitch, and I mean, I think he averages like 150 concurrents, and he's on, I think, every single night, and he does live, you know, improv rapping. He's super insanely talented, and he can rap, and he'll get stuff that people are, you know, someone will say something and he'll rap around it. So that's the context. He's got a bot that I probably saw 3 or 4 times an hour that would just pop into the feed, and it would say, hey, for $5, you can send me your beat, which like your instrumental piece of music, and I'll rap over it, right? So there's these sort of contextual operations that you can put out there, and if it makes sense for the audience and it's tied to what they're coming there to do, and it adds like a premium feature. And that makes sense, right? It's sort of like it monetizes a relationship that might normally be just something people could say, hey, like you'd see people posting, hey, can you like sing to my beat? It's like, sure, bro. And it would be like, here's the link, right? So I think it's probably a matter of just thinking logically through, like, what is it that people are coming here to get that's sort of the free version? And then what would they be interested in getting that's like turning the knob up a little bit? What would they pay for? And then the bot can sort of be that intermediary that says, would you like to get this? Here's the link. Does that sound right to you, Larry?
These bots let you set stuff up yourself. So you can, it sounds about right. And what it lets you do is a lot of these bots let you say, like, I want to do this for this much money. And then you can just, they'll sync it up with a username both on Twitch and on Discord. I do know they're using integration bot for that's since changed names that allows you to set up like a subscriber tier system where you can who you are, and then it'll give you a tag on these Discord that is appropriate to how much money you spend, and a lot of perks just like that. You can send your streamer a message to a channel where you could be like, I want you to play this song while you murder this thing in this game. So those definitely. It's just a matter of like, what are people using and what do people think they can make money on, and I wonder if those don't take a cut of that. It wouldn't make sense to me, honestly.
Another thing that strikes me is, and this is probably the first moment in our conversation where I feel like I have something to contribute. I've been watching and learning and talking to a lot of these live stream companies and figuring out what they're doing and what the space is and what's working and what's sort of not working yet. And I think one thing that's extremely inefficient right now is people buying stuff within a live stream. It's not a reliable, easy thing for people to like make purchases. Like even on Twitch, people end up going to PayPal and buying it and then come back to Twitch. So it seems to me that if Discord, this is a question, but like if Discord could become that sort of the pipes, the monetary pipes, where if I'm on said live stream, I can just be like, well, I pop over to Discord, I put my $5 in, and I get that feature element. If they can become the PayPal of this sort of virtual live streaming environment, man, that would be a good play for them. Do you agree? Is that something they're trying to do, or is that where they're moving?
So what they used to let you do, I wouldn't doubt that they would go in that sort of a direction. When they had a storefront for games, which they still do, they're just not including, like, they're not doing the Epic Games thing where if you're a subscriber to Discord Nitro, you get free every so often. You used to be able to give people games through Discord, and that was a popular way to give people things, and the Discord got a cut of the money, obviously, when you paid to get a game to your favorite streamer to try to get them to play it. So it would make a lot of sense. They try to build in their own tools to be the intermediary so they could get a cut of that pie.
Right.
Right now, have they announced that? No. But I think they've been kind of in mode. They were discontinuing their old pricing model to make money through Nitro, and they haven't really replaced it with anything. So I would say that might definitely be something that would appear the next a big announcement about the next monetize the platform and give you some type of feature that for your
I might have lost him again. Larry, you're killing me, Larry. I'm just kidding. So one last question I wanted to ask you, brother, if you can pop back on, is I'm not sure if you offer. Oh no, screens all just went black. That's pretty dramatic. So I wanted to see if you guys are interested in anything else that you'd like for me to ask Larry while we're still on. Yeah, that was pretty good. You got it. Larry, I wanted you to, I was meaning to move into this and I didn't get a chance to yet. What's up, Lady Llama? Good to see you again. We're wrapping up a session with Larry, who's talking about Discord, how the hell to use it, why to use it. One last question I have, and you guys can put any questions that you have, is like, are there any third-party services or companies that are worth knowing about? So someone that can help you with, I don't know, integrating your Discord with other stuff. And also I want to see if you use Discord for everything. Oh, really? Wow. No way. Cool. So where do you, is it like the thing that everybody's using right now? And is it worth sort of building your live stream around? Is it seems like that's the place. Yeah, that's kind of where things are at. Where do you, so crystal ball, Larry's back. You back on, Larry? I really want to ask you one last question, and then Lady Llama, I'll pop you on as well.
Okay, there we go.
So I want to be able to give you, a chance to, I don't know, I know you have this tutorial channel, and I know you have a lot of knowledge that goes way beyond just Discord. So I appreciate you letting us just sort of like dive into Discord for the last hour. Do you, if someone's watching this or they watch this later, we're going to be having these up on our YouTube channel. Do you offer, do you have any books? Do you have any consulting that you provide for people if someone needs a couple of hours of your time, or any sort of help with what they're trying to put together?
Officially, I don't, but officially I'm actually planning on rolling out a Patreon subscription service where if you pay me, I will come in and set up your servers for you. I will help moderate it to a certain degree. Like, I'm not there every day and do it 24/7, but I will help you set up policies and everything. Moderate. You set up some bots that'll help you do the heavy lifting for you. When that becomes available, I will be posting a video on my YouTube for the side of things. Before then, I mostly just have the videos, and if you have technical questions, I try to answer as many as I can in chunks in the comment section, because all of the comments YouTube get fed to me chronologically, so I just go down the list like, oh, you do this. Oh, is it exploding? Just use this to keep it from not exploding, that sort of a thing.
Yep. Well, listen, it just occurred to me, I want to have something on our Discord, which is, I don't know an elegant way to describe it exactly, but just kind of like services and people that we know that are good resources. So when you have that Patreon page up, we can be like, yo, Larry's been on, he knows what he's talking about. If you guys need help with Discord and other stuff, and we can include it there. So definitely, whether it's Tori or myself, when you have that up and running, please let us know. We have a huge community. I think we have probably like 35 people here that watch this right now. No, it's we're new and we're small, but we're actually a pretty badass little group. Like the stream that we had on Wednesday, I feel like we're genuinely building a true community of people. It may not be a large community yet, but like everybody is gelling really nicely, so I feel good about that. But we'll definitely let people know when your Patreon is up. So besides that, are there any
I appreciate it.
Are there like third party? Absolutely. And just as more of an open-ended thing, like if there's anything we can do to help in general, let us know. So are there third party things that would help that people could know about? So you've got your Discord, you've got some live streams, and until Larry's got his Patreon thing up, like who are there apps, are there services, are there companies, are there things that you could throw out there and say, well, if you need help in the short term, you could always do X or Y or Z. What are some things people can reach out to for help?
So Lady Llama has the idea in the most of the services that you're going to work with for Discord are going to the form of a bot. Now, it might seem weird, but most of those bots have a website login to add settings for your account. Ties in with Discord's API. So you'll log in with your Discord account to do stuff. If you pay for one of their services, if it's an integration with your website, which I've seen, or if it's one of those Twitch integration bots, they usually have that will help you set things up, what you need to do, and also be knowledgeable about getting some of the hiccups I was describing earlier with just Discord's permission settings and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you need a certain service, and then usually they'll have a paid thing that'll make it even easier to do, and then they'll have staff.
Most bots, when you're paying for them, is it a one-time fee or a subscription or tiered?
It's my subscription.
Okay.
I've seen a couple have tiered subscription service. I saw a lot of those disappear. I don't know if Discord's policy towards that change. They've mostly gone encouraging people to do one type of subscription fee instead of like a dozen, just because it keeps them a lot less. They used to have one-time fee apps. I don't know how many of those are around. Obviously, a lot of the apps want to make some recurring revenue, so the bots are going to mostly be monthly, if not yearly subscriptions, depending.
Right. Amazing. So, I mean, this was kind of a masterclass, even though it was probably for you a very elementary sort of introduction to this stuff. But I think this was really, really like just the right amount of in-depth for you guys. That is there an easy way for people to contact you if people want to ask you some questions or go onto a website or something like that? Is there anything you want to put out there to reach you?
You know, if you guys join the LiveonLive Discord and talk to me, I will help you. If you go to my tutorials and you add the comment section of the appropriate video, I will help as well.
Right.
Because I usually see, I've kind of stopped answering questions that are obviously answered in the, because ask a question that just proves they didn't even watch 5 minutes of the video. But outside that, if you're confused about something, you need more explanation, or there's that I don't have a video for because there's a few now. They've been really pumping up the new features for live streaming. Just send me a message. I've probably played around with it, broken it a few times, and then
we might have lost the Wi-Fi one last time. Froze? Yeah, I think so. Larry's out there in the mountains, man. He's dropping knowledge from the mountains. Thank you so much, Larry. Well, that's not normally how we like to end these. If you just sort of disappear like that, but we wanted to. I know, man. There's some kind of. He's right on, dude. Fantastic. So, Larry, I want to thank you again for all your time and your knowledge here. Thank you so much for also offering to communicate with our crew through Discord. That's perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. Yuma was the one who sort of inspired us to do this. I think that was a perfect opportunity for us to explore this stuff. Lady Llama, so do you actually do this stuff now too? Is this kind of like your, it sounds like you're pretty kind of specialized in this area. Any other issues or things that you would recommend that we look into for Discord? This is as you probably know, I'm not sure, this is a channel that focuses on music. So we're looking at sort of things for Discord around music. Thanks so much, Larry. Dude, you wanna pop back on so we can thank you legitimately, or are you good to go? I don't know what the rest of your day looks like. We're already into like 11:30. Oh, right on. Okay, cool. Oh, nice. Awesome. For sure. Thank you again, Larry. Thanks so much again, and we'll definitely be in touch and see what we can do about helping you in any way, and putting the word out about your Patreon when it's up. Nice, nice. Tori, are you still on? Yeah, you are. So I think we're gonna have to run off in probably about 10 minutes. Lady Llama, you want to pop on for a second and tell everybody a little bit more about your music and what you're up to and your knowledge of. Let's do it, man.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you coming in from? What part of the country?
I live in New Jersey, so
Right on.
yeah.
So I forgive me. I don't know a lot about your music and stuff, so I don't kind of know where to start. But like, tell us about your music and what you're doing on You Now.
So on You Now, I've been on here for about a year now, off and on kind of thing. But I play games. I interact with whatever, my community and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I play the ukulele. I sing. I'm actually in a competition on You Now. It's called Rise Your Mic. It's a huge competition with Magna. I don't know if you know her or anything, but she does like it's like The Voice and the American Idol had a baby, and she
Yep.
does it on You Now, and she does like big prizes and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I do that. But on Discord for
Yep.
a while, I've been on Discord since 2011. So I've been on it for a very long time. And what I used it at first was I did GTA role playing, which is a big community of people that come together and realistically run. Like if you're in real life, like you're driving a car and you get pulled over by the cop, person would be playing as that cop and you're playing the civilian. And then we would use Discords to talk to each other and get tickets and all that fun stuff, like if it was real life. So that's what we use Discord for, to communicate with each other and write tickets for each other and blah, 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 all this other stuff. It was insane. So then I had this whole idea, because I was in it so long, that I was actually able to make my own servers like all the time. So I started my own business that ran for a couple months, and I actually got paid for it. So I made other people's servers and websites to help them out, because they didn't know how to do certain things with their Discord. So, but the things that Larry said were true. The bots, they're the third party, is what I said. They are third party. They help build the server. There's a bot that everyone uses. It's called Me6, MEE6 bot. It does everything for you. It's it's one of the originals that they always had that. Yes.
Jotting it down.
Every time someone comes in, you can always set the role. So like if you don't have anything set for people when they come in, you can set that role and they'll just have a role when they start. So they'll see certain things, like for example, if it's completely white, because that's just the main original whatever, you go and you just set it up in the dashboard and say, okay, well, I want the set role to be incomers or newcomers or something like that. And then that'll be the role they come in as when they join in. So you just like play around with it. It's the easiest bot. That's why everyone uses it. It's very, very easy. It tells you exactly what you should be doing. It is on a separate website. So that's what the third party would be, as it is on a separate website for that bot. But it does everything for you. You can like ban people. You can kick people just by clicking something in the chat, and it'll just kick them out for you. So you don't have to do all the other stuff, settings, or kick them and whatever. So
right. And what I like about that is something else that Larry was talking about is like there's particular ways you can set something up where, like, okay, if someone's on a lot, then they become like a, active user or whatever. So it gives people a sense of, okay, I guess being welcomed, if that's the right word, and like having a certain role in the community that everybody kind of can recognize, and it happens automatically. So you don't have to keep sort of, okay, now you're this, okay, now you're that.
Yeah. So that bot helps with that. And then there's like other bots, like there's bots that level you up, which I believe it's the same bot. You do like you do like a rank, and it levels you up to a different rank. And so like when they're more active and they talk more into the chat, they level up a next role. So like level 10 would be like the next roll up, like a butterfly. I don't even know. Like you can literally set the roles up and then they can go the next role, but they have to be active and talking a lot in the chat to get up to that next level. So
as an artist, what are some of the most important bots that you use?
So I'm on my Discord right now. So I'll tell you, I have a lot of bots, mostly because the fact that I like to make sure everyone's entertained. For a fact, I have the meme 6 bot, which I just told you. So it keeps everything together. I have a friendly pizza bot, which is like, it has games. So like Cards Against Humanity. It has that game in it. I have a rhythm bot, which is a music bot. So they could like listen to music from like YouTube or SoundCloud. They just put the link in with it and then it starts playing it for you. So it's pretty cool. I have a couple others. A welcome bot, which is the welcomer. Every time someone comes in new, it tells you how many people you have for each person that comes in. So if you have 5 people, for example, a new person comes in and says, hello, you're number 6 member, because they just joined. So now you have 6 members instead of just 5. So it's pretty cool. But I have some bots just play games. Some just make a weird soundboard when you type in something weird. But other than that, like, it's just fun games.
So you're on now? Are you on Twitch as well? Are you on any of the
so I'm on Twitch.
Okay.
I'm on Mixer. I play video games on those. I also sing on those as well. So I have OBS, so I can literally go anywhere. I can go Facebook. I've done Facebook gaming before. So I'm like in different categories of platforms that
for sure.
I'm just all over the place. So
no, it's awesome. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know how much you know about our little baby channel here, but by the way, how did you find out about us?
My friend White Shadow was guesting with you one day.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So if you're interested, we'd love to maybe have you on for a future one. We do these Wednesdays and Fridays. And so far it's been a mix of almost like 3 different kinds of people that we bring on. One is, someone like an Emma McGann or a Matt Walden, or someone that's doing like some pretty significant things with a particular platform, or they're doing some things that they want to share. And then another is people like Larry or Sherry Hugh, or people that are kind of like experts in their field. And then the other is, I would say, people that are in it right now and doing significant things that are like mixing, like the music and the tech, the sort of the live streaming aspect together. Because I think, that's arguably the most interesting, because the whole point of this is just so that people can help each other learn why live streaming can be useful for music, whether it's just artistically useful, or if you're trying to monetize things or add things to the community, like, how do you do it so it doesn't suck? So, I mean, I'm already thinking that you'd be a really good guest, because you're deeply in both spaces. And I think you could speak a lot to these different pieces of how things fit together, because you're living through it.
Yeah, so, I'm going through it now. Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, just putting that out there, if you want to come in for a visit sometime, we'd love to have you. Definitely.
I let my assistant know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I have an assistant, which helps me out really. So.
So what is your, once things get back to normal, where do you, with your music stuff, like, are you thinking you just want to like be able to get back on the road and play shows? Is that what you love to do? Like, do you want to get a band together or like write songs? What's kind of like do you have like an area of focus that you want to do with your music?
Well, I was actually in a band before and didn't work out well. A lot of people weren't able to make it to certain times, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I actually just do
Yeah.
everything my own. I still write music. Um, I do it a lot, and I have it all over the internet. I
Yeah.
have songs I recorded because I have like a whole system set up here, and yeah, honestly, even if like we get out of this craziness of whatever is happening in our world right now, then we maybe I'll go and visit. But other than that, I'm more of like an live streaming on the computer kind of person. That's literally how I've always been. I've ever since I got to hang out with people that were slowly growing themselves on music on just a Google Hangout was literally the first time I ever live stream with anyone, like to show my music and stuff. And then I just grew after like all these different websites that aren't a thing anymore. They all closed down. But I sang a lot with those companies and grew and stuff like that and wrote music and whatever's. But I probably will always be the person that's live streaming. Like I've sing live on a stage multiple times with other people, but never like I really want to like sing on a stage as much as like streaming live with multiple people that can, I like you and me. I don't like, I'm talking to you on a live stream, which is insane and crazy and it's scary for some people, but like I'm more comfortable talking with you like this than if we were sitting next to each other personally. So
Interesting.
It's just how I am.
So my version of what you just said is almost like the same, but almost the opposite. So like, I'm much more comfortable sitting with somebody physically. That's just my nature. Like I feel like that's just growing up and whatever. Like that's what I'm more used to. So there's that, and then there's also the fact, and Tori knows this. I didn't use video anything until 8 weeks ago. Like if my mom calls me and says, "You want to FaceTime?" I'm like, "It's your birthday, okay?" You know, like I hate it. I hate because I don't know why. I just feel like I'm so used to being able to just not think about the physical gestures and communication when I'm on the phone with someone. I'm almost deeper into the conversation when I'm just listening very closely, right? You're an artist. I've been in music my whole life. I listen very closely. But this, for some reason, doesn't feel awkward. I think it's because it feels like a space. Like, I don't know if you probably weren't on Wednesday, but it was the first time we've been doing this in 8 weeks where it felt like I could feel the room. Like I happen to have known all the people that were there except for Annie. I've never met physically. Annie came to us through Matt Walden's group, but like everybody else I've already met physically. And besides that, I kind of had a sense of who was in the room. And it just, I'm liking it. In other words, like I'm starting to know what you're talking about. Like there's something almost more natural about it because you feel like you can communicate with different people in different ways in a way that you couldn't really do in a room.
Yeah. Like, it's weird. It's like I said, I did sing in front of people before and like, I like meeting people in person as well, but I feel more comfortable with like talking or singing in front of a whole bunch of people on a live stream than if in real life. Like I would get more nervous or I would get more shy or something like that. But like on here, I'm like, well it's what can we do? It's like it's so much easier to be face to face with someone like this instead of that way because it's weird because I grew up on the computer all the time, like my music with talking to people, stuff like that. Like my family lives super far away. Like it's only me and my husband here. I don't have any other family other than they're in other states. And this is the only way I could talk to them is like if I'm like this. That's why like we're always like we're moving or we're just not away, we're away from our family or stuff like that. And during these times it's very hard to even go anywhere because no one can leave. Our state's closed still, so we can't go anywhere.
Right. Yeah, we are too, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm actually just on the music side of things. I write for music industry publications, so the only reason I know what I'm about to tell you is because of that. There's a studio in Arizona called Salt Mine that's fully open. I mean, they have to follow certain safety regulations right now, but like Arizona is one of the few states where they're like, you know what, like pretty much everybody. I mean, I don't know exactly where the line's drawn, but most of the shit people do every day, they're more or less able to do within certain parameters.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like, I, I, I guess it's different when you're already used to the video thing. Emma McGann, you probably know or know of, had said something. She was on for some of our first couple of these that we did, and she said, like, when you're in a live show, you're performing. If there's 50 people in the room, you're doing something to all 50 of those people at the same time.
Exactly.
And you're more or less, there's that old sort of cliche, like, play to one person, even though you're playing to everybody. But essentially, you're giving it to everybody, and they're all kind of giving it back to you as a group. But in her words, like on a live stream, it's almost like you're like, let me just connect with you for a couple of seconds. Okay, now I'm going to connect with this person. And is that what it feels like to you?
Yeah, like I have regulars that would come in and they'll communicate me with as the chat moves and stuff, and I'm playing music. I will see like their comment and then I'll respond as mid-time because that's sometimes what I do. Or like other times would be I'm writing a song and they're helping me. And as I'm playing the song, then they're adding lyrics or this and that. I can be able to like talk to that one person and then talk to another person. Like, it's crazy, but it's like, as I'm focusing on writing the song as well, I'm like, I am connecting with multiple other people, and not just like, they're all hearing the same thing, but it's just, I'm talking to each person as well as a single person. So I don't know. I see that.
It's like you develop chops that are not the same chops as when you're putting on a live show. And every single person we've spoken to, Matt, Emma, someone else that comes to mind I can't remember exactly who it was, basically said, like, you just learn to be able to do multiple things in your brain at the same time. And you just learn it over time. It's like, it's a different skill. And I feel like that one of the reasons that I wanted to do this channel is because I sensed that skill, although I don't understand it entirely, is a very unique skill that's going to matter more over the next year or two. And so I find it very fascinating to talk to people who have that skill and can speak on it, and help, artists understand. And the other thing is, I don't want stuff to suck. I think the knee-jerk reaction that a lot of live streaming is right now is just some reaction. Well, let's do something. And it's not really that good. It's not really, people don't know how to engage yet. They're just turning on a video and then they're going to just start doing stuff. Yeah. So I like being able to talk to people who've been doing it for a while and say, what is this actually supposed to be like? What do you think of Stage It?
Like what? Like staging, like setting something up beforehand?
So there's a live streaming platform called Stage It, which is even that's cool that you may not know it. So Stage It is more of a, like the name implies, it's like, okay, imagine this is kind of more of a staged thing. And you're going to charge people, maybe it's 10 cents to come in, maybe it's $5, maybe it's $100. If you're a larger artist and you have maybe a limited number of tickets you're going to sell. And it's a paid model. It's not broadcast in the sense that a YouNow or a Twitch is, or Facebook is, or any of the others. It's like you bring 20 people in, they each pay. It's almost like a, bar model. Would you do that?
It actually reminds me of a concert window, because, well, it's closed bound, but you would do a concert, you would set up a concert and what the event would be. And then you would have people come in, pay tickets, or you can do it for free. Like you can give them that option. And then they would come and they would watch you as like, if it was like a live stream, but it's mostly just they pay for it. And why it's called concert window is the fact that it's a concert and you're in a computer screen. So yeah, so I did that for a while, and that was really well. Like it was really. So I would say maybe it's the same thing as that. So I would, yeah, definitely check it out
You
because
try it.
something like that, like the round what concert window was. It's pretty cool. Like you can bring all these people in, then like why not? And be like, hey, you guys, come and check this out.
Yeah,
So,
but it's also a different animal, right? Because like on you now, there's a certain flow to things. On Twitch, there's a certain flow to things. You've
mhm.
got bots, you've got stuff,
Yeah,
you've got a whole thing you're doing in that party. And then this is a completely different thing that maybe doesn't have that messaging. Maybe it doesn't have those features. And so I almost feel like everything that people that have been doing this a lot, a long time have told me is that the music and a music live stream, the actual performance of the music itself is a relatively small part of that live stream.
yeah,
And so on Stage It, the premise is like, okay, you're bringing your music mostly. And so I just wonder how that would feel different than you doing what you do on Twitch or you now, you know?
yeah.
But yeah, check it out. I'll send you, or I don't know if I can send you, I don't know if we have, but like, Tori, if you can put Stage It up there just so people can know what I'm talking about. And also, if you're interested in reading any of the stuff that I write on like different platforms and whatnot, it's available online for free to anyone. It's generally paid, but right now because of the pandemic and stuff, you can read it. I would actually be curious to hear your thoughts on a lot of that stuff because there might be things that you haven't seen yet that I want to hear, like how you would see them. Anyway, so unfortunately we have to jump. We're into like almost our second hour, and I have to be somewhere at 12.
Yeah, no problem.
But it was super cool to have you on, and so if you want to come on again, I think you could talk about Discord. Do you I guess, do you provide help for Discord for people now, or is that not something that you really do?
No,
still?
yeah, no, I do it.
Okay.
I do it. I do that. Yeah, I also do a lot of Mac stuff like OBS and stuff like that for Mac users because I have
Amazing.
a MacBook. Yeah, I have a.
Do you?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, do you? I mean, do you have a website, or do you have something that, like, if people needed help with stuff that you're available on, or do you just kind of do it more like kind of low key?
I do like more of like they just DM me and then they're
Gotcha.
like, okay, well, I have questions about this, and I would show them something. I would do like in Discord you can do video chat, so I would like show my screen up and I'd be like, okay, well, this is what I do and this is what would help you out a little bit, and that's what I usually help out all Mac users mostly.
Amazing. Okay. Cool. So beautiful. Well, thank you for popping on and for finding us. And White Shadow, man, we love that guy.
Yeah, I met him in one of my talent shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do talent shows every Tuesday. So I have.
Okay.
I have one next Tuesday.
So you have talent show. What time are they on Tuesdays?
Sometimes they're like, it depends. It'll be like 1 p.m. Eastern time, or it would be late at night. So like 9 p.m. Eastern time is usually when they do it.
And do you have anything else that's sort of semi-regular that you do that we could keep in mind?
Well, I'm gonna go into your Discord, and do you guys have like a? Well, I make schedules. Yeah, I make schedules every week. So for my stream, so I do like a music stream, the talent show, and then I do some community things. So, but yeah,
you're absolutely welcome to. And I guess maybe Tori, if you're still on here. Like maybe we can create some sort of a space for that, or however we do that. We would absolutely let us know what you're up to, and we'll come by and say hi and tell our crew about you. And
awesome.
We look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So this is how like new we are to this stuff. Like how do I refer to you? Like my name is just Peter Petro. So how do you? You can
call me Llama, or you can call me my name Lauren. So it's up to you, honestly.
What do you prefer?
I honestly don't care. You can call me Llama if you want.
I like Llama. I like Llama. It's like White Shadow. Like I like calling him White Shadow. And I'll leave you with this because this is kind of like nerdy. This is the kind of shit that we touch upon. Like, so I've been in the music industry for, I don't know, 20 years. And I've worked with a lot of artists that a lot of different levels of their career. And sometimes when people are coming in and they're doing stuff, and this story alludes to people that are probably earlier on in their career than you, but still, I think it applies. When someone comes into a studio, you refer to them by their artist name because they're coming in to do art. That's their, like, you have Lauren is perfectly valid, but when I say Lauren, your brain goes, oh, right, Lauren. Right? And
Yeah.
if I say llama, you're like, oh, right, llama.
That's me.
And so like, either one's badass, but I just think for the purposes of us and building a community around music, it's like, yo, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, we're all about it. And like, thank you so much for checking in.
Yeah, no problem.
And we'll definitely be in touch soon. Drop us stuff on our Discord and we'll
Yeah,
come by and say hi.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, llama. Peace out.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Guys, that was amazing. That was really cool. These things always tend to sort of like take on a life of their own. Yuma, it was so good to see you again, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for being the inspiration for this. What's up? Oh, hi. We're wrapping up, but you can come back Wednesdays and Fridays, and we're going to be doing live streams on music and how to do stuff as an artist. Tori, great job as always. Clemsy, what's up, man? I got some stuff I want to share with you soon. Sounds like you've been busy, Clemsy. And I got it bold. I got to be in another meeting in 3 minutes. So I love you guys. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for your questions. And I think everybody's off to work now anyway. So peace out. See you on Wednesday of next week. Talk to you soon.